Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English. Friends, in this video we'll have a discussion of the important questions of the famous story The Wolf by Farooq Sarwar, and this story is prescribed for the first semester BCA B.SC Generic English under Bangalore University and Bangalore North University. And in this video we shall have the discussion of the 2 marks questions and 5 marks questions with reference to the textbook. So here, to begin with, the 2 marks questions. Who was standing below the tree? A wolf was standing below the tree. What would the wolf do if the author got down from the tree? The wolf would tear him to shreds. To shreds means to say, or we can say, he would kill him. Why is the tree magical? The tree is magical because all the wishes of the narrator is fulfilled immediately. If he thinks about a soft, warm bed, he finds it lying beside him the very next moment. The author lacks freedom. The author doesn't have freedom. What does freedom demand? The freedom demands its price. That means he should get down and kill the wolf, but it doesn't have that course. The assumption of the poet about the wolf is option number C. The wolf is strong, so it cannot be defeated. That's the assumption of the poet as far as the wolf is concerned. How does the author solace? How does the author solace here? The author takes solace from the thought that comfort. Solace means comfort. He feels comfortable by thinking that the tree is tall one and he is totally safe. The wolf cannot harm him anyway. Why is the night a suffering for the author? The night is a suffering for the author because the nightmares trouble him and he goes through hell. What amazed the sight of the author one day? One morning, when the author woke up, he sensed somebody else is hiding in the foliage and thought it was the wolf. But he was amazed to see that he is a man like him. Question number 10. What do the wolves do standing below the tree? Usually, the wolves sit quietly at the place, but often a kind of madness overtakes them and they attack the tree, cutting their teeth in its huge trunk and clawing it with their paws as they growl ferociously. What is peculiar about the wolves? The wolves pursuing the author relates to him only and does not bother the companion. Similarly, the companion's wolf relates to him only and does not bother the narrator. Also, the wolves themselves do not relate to each other in any way. So that's a very much peculiar about the wolves. Question number 12. How does the author's companion kill the wolf? The author's companion hits the wolf with a small branch that he had broken from the tree. The wolf falls down and dies in a few moments. How does the friend gain his freedom? The friend gains his freedom by dint of his courage. Why does the author sweat while sitting on the tree? The author's wolf has grown more desperate, striking at the trunk of the tree all the time. He probably thought that if he continues, either the author would fall down from the tree or the tree itself will fall. This makes the author sweat in fear while sitting on the tree. Question number 15. How does the companion urge the author to get down from the tree? The companion urges the author with encouraging words. He says that the wolf cannot do anything, he is really weak, and he could easily kill the animal. The wolf is just an embodiment of imaginary fear. The wolf is the embodiment of imaginary fear. Why is the author amazed at the end of the story? At the end of the story, the author is amazed to find many trees around him. One human being has taken shelter in each tree, and a wolf is growling beneath each tree. That's the end of the story where the author is amazed. Now we shall have the discussion of the 5 marks questions from the story The Wolf. And friends, I have already done the summary of this story. So you can see the link of the summary of this lesson in the description box or in the playlist of my channel. What were the facilities offered by the magical tree? Question for 5 marks. In the magical tree, the author's wishes were fulfilled immediately. If he thought about a soft, warm bed, he found it lying beside him the very next moment. When he felt bored, he found a magnificent television set before him with stereo. If he wished for it, it would appear in no time. The tree gave him all sorts of comforts. Question number 2. Why is the author grateful to God? Sometimes, when the author remembered the time when the wolf was chasing him, he got into cold sweat. He felt a peculiar sensation running through his body and his heart began to sink. He thanked God for finding the tree that gave him shelter. Otherwise, the wolf would have killed him long ago. Question number 3. How does the author and the men suffer on the tree? The author and the men were afraid of the wolves pursuing them. They all had means of comfort but were not happy. The feeling of boredom and oppression was eating into them every passing day. They could not sleep at night. They could not sleep at night. The moment they closed their eyes, the frightful images of the wolf haunted them. It had even entered the dream, and so they did not have peace. Question number 4. What is the primary difference between the two men on the tree? The author lacks courage to jump down the tree and face the wolf. The man, on the other hand, jumps down. Before his wolf can get him on the ground, he hits the animal with a small branch he had broken from the tree. The wolf is killed. On the other hand, the author is still undergoing the pangs and is afraid of the wolf, which is growing bigger and stronger. So, that is the primary difference between the two men on the tree. What are the signals that prompt the author to think about his death? Is he right in thinking so? Elaborate. There are many incidents that began to occur which signaled the author that he was going to die. Suddenly, the tree began to shake and saw that the wolf was lying down in his place. Then he was shocked to see that the tree was shrinking smaller. Frightened, he began to jump on the big branches of the tree in an effort to restrain its movement, but in vain. Another scene frightened him. The wolf was getting bigger and soon it grew as big as bull. He started to scream and ran up and down the tree, but got no relief. He prepared himself for the impending death. He was right about it. He soon had to overcome his own fears of the wolf and had to take his life in his hands and not let his fears override his life. Question number 6. What does the author eventually do and how does he kill the wolf? Eventually, the author gathered courage and jumped down. His wolf leapt at him immediately, but before he could kill him, the author struck him with all the small and delicate twig that he had ripped from the tree. The wolf which had reached the wolf which had reached elephantine proportions tumbled down on the ground and died right before his eyes. Question number 7. How does the author react on gaining freedom? The author thought freedom itself was a beautiful word. It was a pleasurable feeling. He cried out in joy and began to dance. After some time, he began to look for his companion to thank him, but he was not to be found. Instead, he was amazed to see the many trees around him, and each tree was occupied by a human being, and there was a wolf below each tree. Question number 8. Being comfortable is not being happy. The author and the man on the tree, though comfortably placed, but they are not happy. Explain. Being comfortable is not being happy. The author and the man on the tree, though comfortably placed, are not happy. The feeling of boredom and oppression eats into them every passing day. They are unable to sleep at night. The moment they close their eyes, the frightful images of the wolf haunts them. It has even entered the dreams so that there is no peace for them there too. They have nightmares. The author feels that he's going through hell every night. Every limb of his body aches badly, as though someone had thrashed him with a whip. He's totally exhausted. They both pine for freedom, but freedom demands its price. That is, they should get down and kill the wolf. Kill the wolf. They don't have the courage either. After lots of discussions and debates, they decided to get down and face the wolves. They were not ready to put up with their oppressive lives anymore. They decided to close their eyes and jump. The men jumped down, but the author remained sitting on the tree, afraid of facing the wolf. So, friends, this is how I have solved the questions of the famous story, The Wolf. And you can see the summary of the story on my channel, or you can find the link of the summary of the story in the description box, as well as all the lessons, summary, and the question answers. Links could be seen in the description box. If you like this video, click on the like button. If you're not yet subscribed my channel, please do subscribe. And if you have any questions, any notes, etc., you can mail me, mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Thank you so much.